Good day and welcome to the 10th episode of the Dairy Experience podcast. My name is René van Dalen, Marketing Manager at Lely, Australia, and your host of today's episode, Young Aussie Farmers on Eurotrip. In this episode, we welcome young Aussie farmers Oscar Baxter and Max Bond. Welcome Oscar and Max.
Good day, René.
Hey, René.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for the invitation to host the episode here, Oscar.
No worries.
Before we dive deeper into the Eurotrip from Oscar and Max, we would like to know a bit more about them both. Max, to start with you, can you maybe introduce yourself?
Yep, no worries. So I'm Max Bond, a second generation farmer in Currimungle, southwest Victoria. I farm alongside my parents, Adrian and Vicky Bond. I went to Longanong Ag College and studied ag business and agronomy. Returned home after buying a neighbouring property close to the farm, and I've been back for about 3.5 years. Currently milking 439 Holstein Friesians in a herringbone 24 a side double up dairy. We're currently expanding a herd size, and we've just purchased another farm. And
right, and how are you purchased another farm, and how is that? Yeah, what is the future vision for the next years? Can you tell a bit more about that?
Yeah, so we're probably currently milking 450, so we'll step up again and next year go to 500 and eventually put a new dairy in place. Just expanding and growing.
And you just said that you are 3.5 years ago you came back to the farm, so that obviously means you are part of the family farm, and you are seeing yourself the next 20-30 years being on the farm there? Mum and dad in the same boat. They've been farming for about 20 years, 27 years to be exact, and they've started out with nothing and just grown the business. And now milking, I think before I come back, we'll peaked at just under 400, probably 380 cows, and since returning now, there's 450 at peak. Yeah. So we'll just keep growing as much as we can, and whatever comes up, have a crack and progress. Sounds good. Thank you for your introduction, Max. And on the other side, Max, while we are still busy with you, I do remember that you are also outside your dairy farming. You are also in the WestVic Young Dairy Network. Can you tell a bit more about that role, what you have there?
With the Young Dairy Network?
Yeah.
So the Young Dairy Network is just, it goes off WestVic. Mm-hmm. And in our area, Western Victoria, I think there's about 10 of us on the leadership team, and plan events for young dairy farmers and young people that are interested in dairy, and just plan events. And one of those events, we've got one coming up this week, is trivia. Nice. And that usually draws a big crowd, so hopefully a bit over 100 people, and it's just good networking, socialising.
And how long are you already in that committee?
How long have I been there?
Yeah, how many years?
I've been in the committee for about 2, I reckon. So it's great, and I've got some great mates that I've met out of there, and just share similar interest, dairy. Yeah.
So you can learn a benefit from it, and meet new people, and share experiences.
Networking, yeah. Yep.
Sounds good. Thanks. Oscar, up to you. Can you introduce yourself? Who are you? Where are we? And tell a bit more.
Yep. So g'day, I'm Oscar Baxter. I'm currently dairy farming for David and Alison Cook in Lang, southwest Victoria, about 20 minutes from Warrnambool. At the minute, we are currently milking 350 jerseys, so a 50-unit rotary, fully grass-based system,
Yeah, you are running the management here on farm, right?
Co-managing with the owner and the owner's son, Ashley. So
yeah. And what is your plan moving forward?
So moving forward, probably looking to finishing up here soon, and moving to hopefully a new farm in January next year, managing So can't say too much yet, but hopefully it all works out well.
I hear a cliffhanger here, so people get back into January to Oscar, and then you can learn much more where he is then. So that's for January. January, let's say that's short term. Where do you see yourself in 5 and 10 years or 15 years? What's your dream?
Dream is probably, the next 5 years, probably start, hopefully build up my own herd through calves, and then look to, progress into share farming or potentially even lease farm. And then long term, obviously, try and buy some land and hopefully maybe eventually buy a dairy farm if I can afford it. So that's the long term plan anyway.
Interesting to see how that will evolve in the next years. Thanks for sharing that.
No worries.
Thank you very much, Oscar and Max, for your introductions. Our listeners know much about who you are, so that's good. I would like to go back to Saturday, the 25th of November, 2023. I think that date sounds familiar to you, Oscar, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was a big night and a lot of alcohol drunk.
It was definitely a fun night.
Yep.
It was the date of the 2023 Dairy Farmers Ball hosted by the WestVic Young Dairy Network. I believe we just spoke about it. Max is in the committee of that. And during that charity evening, we as Lely, we had the honor to be the main sponsor for this event and to give away on that evening a trip to the Netherlands. Max was in the organizing committee, and you, Oscar, you were there that evening.
Yep.
When this event was announced, was it clear for you participating in that event straight away?
Yeah, definitely. Anything to help support the dairy industry, and I can't quite remember the foundation that the money went towards, but yeah, good night out, catch up with locals and people you don't get to see very often. So yeah, no reason not to go.
Yeah, sounds good. Max, can you tell a bit more about the process for announcing the winner? People during the charity event, it was already clear, let's say weeks ago, that before that Lely was giving away a trip to the Netherlands as being a main sponsor for that charity event. How was the process that people were able to get into the raffle?
So it started probably a good 4-5 months prior. We just advertised that we're having a ball. There was nothing for young people to celebrate the dairy industry. So we just, with the Young Dairy Network, we just try to advertise it through radio, Facebook, and just around to your mates. And just an event to everyone to come together, like Oscar said, just mingle with everyone and get off farm.
Dress up, look fancy.
Get off the farm and talk about farm, probably. As we're all farmers. And the process with the raffle, I guess it was a lot of communication between Lely and the Young Dairy Network. I guess we formed a really good relationship to develop the prize and to work out a way how to go into the raffle to win the prize.
Yep.
So, and that way was just, you had to buy a ticket, pre-sale ticket, and with your ticket come along a raffle ticket that just went into the draw.
To get into the draw. And then Oscar, you were having obviously a few of the tickets. What were you thinking that evening?
Oh, well, obviously you never think you're gonna win, of course. Obviously the ticket to come to the event, you got one ticket included, and they obviously come around and said, "Oh, do you want to buy some more tickets?" And I said, "Oh, why not?" So I decided to buy
a few beers in, ladies and gentlemen, and then
a bit more money throw down the drain. Definitely paid off buying them 2 extra tickets. So.
And then the big moment came. I think it was Bailey Vines who came on stage, who was picking the ticket of the winner. And then the moment you won, what was going on in your mind on that very moment?
I was like, I just could not believe it. And everyone around me was like, "No way, this bloke always wins something," or everyone gives you shit. But no, I just couldn't believe it at all. So one of the tickets I bought on the night was actually one of the winners, because it it wasn't, my name wasn't printed on it was my writing. So, which was, definitely worth buying them 2 extra tickets, I think.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's for the 2024 event. Buy tickets on the evening to make a potential win, I would say. No. I think it was really a great evening. And then with a lot of young people there on the evening, mix and mingling. And then, when you win, the next day, then you woke up and you were like, okay, did I really won?
Yeah. The main thing was probably when you, Renee, rang me, was it a week or two after, or even a bit longer, and I was like, righto, we actually are going on this trip, and I had to find a mate to bring with me. So, I could bring a partner or plus one. So, I actually asked. There was 3 other mates that I asked, and they all said no. So, Max was the 4th bloke in line, and he said yes. So.
4th best mate.
Yeah, 4th best mate. Yeah. He should still be pretty happy, I think.
Well, I think looking to the trip what you have done, I think it's a wealth of experience. But we come back later on that.
Yep.
First, we dive into your Euro trip. I have one question about milking robots in general. How did you look at milking robots before your trip to Europe?
It was probably a bit of a stigma, kind of like, robots, they don't really work. I wasn't really for them. At that stage, I'd never seen a barn system at all. There'd been a few stories around here of grass-based systems and them not really working, and it was kind of, you're lazy, put robots in and all that kind of stuff. But what the trip taught me was definitely a complete opposite, so...
It's good to hear, and it's good to hear. We come back later on that. And how was that for you, Max? How did you look at the robots before your trip to Europe?
Yeah, I probably very similar to Oscar. Again, didn't have as much knowledge on any robot products, whether that was Lely, Laval, GEA. Nothing, but I guess later on you'll probably ask us again what we think about them. Totally different.
Yeah, I think looking indeed to the adoption rate of milking robots in Australia, but also, for example, New Zealand, we're just starting up here. The potential is enormous, and we will tell a bit more about it later on. Going into that Euro trip, Oscar, can you tell a bit more? How was the program created? How did you had you went 2 weeks, one Lely week and 1 week, let's say, sightseeing. How can you tell a bit more? How was the program?
Well, you were the main organiser, Renee. The main start off thing was organising what time of the year that me and kind of Max was like, you coming this time of year or you're not coming at all. So basically, Renee and was it Julia? I think.
Yeah, Julia from Netherlands.
She was a big help in coordinating and organising a lot of the trip. Obviously, them main things, and I suppose. How long we were going to go for. Obviously, flying halfway around the world, I think a week was definitely too short. And some would say, well, 2 weeks was still too short. But I think me and Max both enjoyed our time there. And obviously, it's different when you go with family and all that, with more mates. But the time that we were over there was amazing, and never going to regret it, that's for sure.
Sounds good. So, indeed, you went 2 weeks to the Netherlands. The first week was, let's say, the Lely week. The second week was more like sightseeing. Come a bit back later on that. You went in the plane to the Netherlands, and on one of the first days, you are visiting the Lely campus. Max, what was your first impression when you drove up to the Lely campus and seeing it there all popping up?
Just a big wow. Mouth dropped. Absolutely amazing facility. What you guys are doing there, it's just, there's a lot going on in such a, not a small area, but it's, for what you guys are doing. It was crazy.
How was it for you, Oscar?
Well, when we were driving, was it you? No, it was, who picked us up? I can't remember now.
I think it was Kuwait.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, where is this joint? And all of a sudden you come around past a few trees and just bang, this huge big infrastructure building set up, the big Lely, everything. and just beautiful, clean, nice. Yeah, that was my first expression.
One of the most sustainable, let's say, production facilities and headquarters there is in Europe, and Lely is serving there, of course, Europe, and from there we assemble the milking robot, and that goes worldwide, besides North America.
Yep.
So you were at Lely, and then a part of it, a new part of the Lely campus, is the Lely Museum. You both have visited the Lely Museum. What did you like most about the Lely Museum, Oscar?
The whole thing was unreal to see. Obviously, Lely's been in Australia a long time, but there's not a lot of things that we don't know about it. And so just everything, really, I'd say. I loved to see the yellow revolutions, the continuous baler. That was unreal to see. But just the whole thing, like we could have stayed there for hours talking about it all. And the fella that showed us around, he was unreal, and just it was really cool.
What was your favorite part of the museum, Max?
With the museum, probably machinery, just because I'm big on machinery. Love the yellow innovations, revolutions. Sorry. You're talking to people with similar interests, and this is what they've done their whole life, and we're just bouncing back off each other. I'd probably say the machinery, but the dairy side of things, how Lely cares about the animal, why they have robots, what the robot wants to do for the cow, why are farmers having robots? So animal health.
The thought of Lely behind it, the free cow traffic what Lely has to make the life of the dairy farmer easier, but also that when the cow is in a good mood, when the cow feels happy, she's more productive and healthy. So you have been to the Lely campus. You have seen, let's say, the older forage harvesting machinery what we had in our product portfolio, and you have seen, let's say, the new technology what we are developing there. With the dairy equipment products. So I'm curious to hear which dairy product did you like, or which recent innovation what you have seen there did you like the most?
Well, I'd say the big was it mower? What was it called? The cuts.
But
we didn't actually get to see that.
The Lely axles.
Yes, that would have been unreal to see. But just even the photos and the story whole behind it and everything. But the automated mixer wagon, the
automatic feeding system.
The feeding system. That was definitely. I love that. Yeah, that was really cool to see.
To see it live in action.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite to see, Max?
My favorite was probably just the. I can't remember what it's called. It's just the cleaning robot.
Yeah, so the Discovery collector, the manure robot who sucks up the manure in the shed or in the barn.
All the products were great. All the products just make your farm more efficient. And if you've got a great layout farm, and if you had all these products, efficiency through the roof, and more time to look at the cows, or just put time towards something else. To benefit your farm. Yeah,
so indeed, let's say the products that Lely is developing, it's all around the cow, and with the aim also to free up time from the dairy farmer, so you can focus on other jobs what needs to be done on the farm. After the Lely campus, after your visit there, you have seen how the robot has been assembled in different steps into each other. You have visited 5 different farms. For our listeners, we will not talk about every farm visit in detail, because then we're sitting here tomorrow still. But you have visited 5 different farms with a variety of Lely equipment on the farm. Oscar, can you share your experiences of visiting these farms, and what were your, let's say, main takeaways?
Obviously, the main takeaways was just seeing the barn system work, because there's one getting built around here, but before that there's been none. Just the efficiency, the amount of automation. Like, there was one of the farms we went to, obviously I can't remember all the names, but like nearly everything was automated. It was just mind-boggling. and the efficiency, the cows, the condition, just nearly every part of it really was unreal to see. Yeah.
Nice. And for you, Max?
Pretty similar to Oscar. Again, no barns really in southwest Victoria, but just seeing what the farmers doing and the innovation the farmers have to keep moving forward with the times as restrictions in the Netherlands. The regulations are just crazy. They're always changing. Farmers planning for 10, 20 years, and the farms are in, like we went to some farms and they were six generations. Look, there's probably something I like from each farm, really. And, you probably get more just talking to the farmer and their experience.
Yeah, and they're all open to share their experience.
Yep. Great.
Yeah, I would
They're
say.
all great.
So you were just touching the regulations, and the regulations in Netherlands are pretty tough. I think, but correct me if I'm wrong, the regulations in Netherlands are tougher than what you have here in Australia. With the nitrogen emissions, what they have the objective to reduce a lot of nitrogen emissions, and they are thinking of buying out a lot of dairy farmers because they want to reduce that nitrogen emission level. But you have also visited, I think, a few farms with the Lely sphere. And the Lely sphere reduces nitrogen on farm with at least 70%. What did you thought of that product?
How they invented it. It was unreal to see, and it's obviously working. It was great to see, and the whole design of it, of filling in the slats and the rest of it. It was just so cool. Yeah.
I'm pretty much the same as Oscar. We haven't seen anything like this in Australia, and over there, that's where it's starting. And no doubt, over time, it will definitely come towards Australia, and at least we've got a bit of an understanding and a concept of why. And yeah,
nitrogen emissions is also becoming more and more of a topic in Oceania. I think it's more coming in New Zealand first than in Australia, but it's
just starting here.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. So we need all to have a look how we can be more sustainable and how we care about the world into the future, so that our future generations can continue living on Earth in a normal way.
100%.
So that's good. You also have been to one of the farms where we have the Lely Orbiter in place. And Lely Orbiter, that's where they process the milk on farm, and that it goes directly from the farm to the supermarket. What were you thinking, Max, when you saw that product?
Oh, just again, not very, very little farms in Australia would do anything like that. It's processed on farm, straight out of the parlour, into the other shed. Was it Osdam? Udam?
Yeah. Jordan and Yvonne Oosdam.
Yep. Yeah. So they were great to talk to, and I think there's 5 other farms in the Netherlands that
has the
So
it's still not fully commercial available, but they are slowly getting into other countries, into Europe as well.
And the milk it has their faces on it. It tells a story. People know where the milk comes from. So I thought that was very, very important. A very good message to put in supermarkets.
You see
consumers.
That more and more coming out in supermarkets, that you see the face of the farmer or the cow family where the milk comes from. So people get more of a connection with the milk, what they are drinking. Do you see a shift that in Australia as well, that people want to know, where is my milk coming from?
I believe so. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And how do you see the role of you as a dairy farmer in educating the people in Australia more where their milk is coming from?
I think it's important to educate everyone where food comes from. It doesn't just appear on the shelf. So it's a lot of work from farm to processor into supermarket. There's probably, I don't know how many jobs in line there is, but there's a lot of people within just the dairy industry that work just to get that milk on the shelf. So if a processor, if a consumer can have understand where that milk's come from, it might boost milk sales because I want to buy their milk because they farm in the same area, kind of thing. So just little things like that.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that, and I think the young generation who's growing up, I think we need to educate them more where milk, where other vegetables are coming from, and we as Lely, we have a role in that, but the dairy farmers has a role in that as well, to educate them and to connect the end consumer really with the producer in that sense. So that's good to touch base upon in general. So you have seen a lot of different farms, and then your second week came up, let's say the holiday week. I fully understand, of course, what happens in the Netherlands stays in the Netherlands. But what sightseeing did you like most, Oscar?
The cities. Like, I'm not much of a city guy at all. I'd happily not go to a city ever, kind of thing. Happily stay on the farm. But yeah, just because I was just so old, we don't have that much in Australia at all. We haven't been settled for half the time years have been going. And the windmills, the canals, just the whole country was totally new to us. So everything was really cool to us to explore.
And which city is your favorite? If you need to pick one.
If I can remember the name. Delft was really nice. Yeah. They all had really good parts, really good, there was no bad experiences, so yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
And for you, Max?
Look, probably a bit the same. I'm not much of a fan of the city, but just the history side of things. Like, we're looking at buildings that were older than Australia when it was founded. So, a bit of history. And my favourite city was probably Delft too. Also like Mislaus.
Yeah,
that was awesome. And the people around there, they were great people. We met so many just locals around the town, and everyone was everyone we went.
I think it's also pretty unique when you walk in the city of Maasluis that you see some Australian guys, and most of the people are pretty open. So
I loved it. It was awesome.
Nice, good to hear. And then you came back to the real world here in Australia again, back to work. And then we invited you as well after the trip to participate in the Connect, Care and Grow event in Gippsland, the end of July. An event where we as Lely Australia organized for dairy farmers and rural professionals. And then you also here visited a few Lely farms in Australia to see the milking robots live in action. How did you like the event, Oscar?
It was a really good event. Obviously, the big thing was when we were over in the Netherlands, we seen the robots in the barn systems, and righto, they work really, really well. But then we come home and go, righto, grazing systems, how do they work? But then to go up and see both them two farms up there was a lot of confidence, and it's seeing that it works well. You don't have to go change the whole farm. You can chuck them in an old dairy. It was just, really an eye-opener again.
Yeah, it's good to hear. How was it similar experience for you, Max? Or
it was a great conference. Network with a lot of people, and the same as Oscar. Like, it was great to see the barns and how they work over in the Netherlands, and coming back to Australia to see a pasture system run with robots was you got your questions. You're like, how's it going to go? Cows aren't going to cross each other with the laneways, but they do. And the farms we went to, I think one was 6th generation, and the other one was, I can't remember if they were a generation farmer or not, but I think they were doing
I think I don't know if it's a 6th generation, but definitely a couple of generations on let's say the Williams farm, and also I think a couple of generations for sure on the Wallace farm.
Yeah. And I have been to one of them farms before too, so it was great to go there and actually talk to them about, why'd you put it here and why are you growing up? What were they growing? Multi-species crops, and so it was very interesting. And the production hasn't dropped or anything, which I was surprised. That's always in the back of my head. With robots. So, but it was great, and great to meet a lot of Lely customers, I guess, and they're very open to have us come have a look on their farm and their setups. So I'm keen to follow up with a few of them and check out their systems.
Yeah, to see it more with your own eyes, and then have a chat indeed how it's going, because you said indeed a drop in milk with a milking robot in general, of course. In the barn system, I think most of the people know that in general, let's say the average milking frequency is there 2.7, can also be more than 3 times a day that cows are being milked. But also here in Australia, when you hear the average milking is, it depends of course on the time of the year, depends on the time of calving and the period. But in general, the average milking is 2.4, 2.7, and it can increase, and it saves of course a lot of labor time. So it's good to hear that you like the event, and that's also our fault. You have seen it in Europe. Now we would like to show you how things are going here, and good to hear. We almost come to the end of this episode, but of course, nearly at the beginning we had a question about how you see milking robots before your trip to Europe. Of course, I'm curious to hear, Oscar, have the recent trip to the Netherlands and the event in Gippsland changed your look to milking robots in Australia?
Yeah, well, definitely. If I ever put a barn up, I know I'd be putting milking robots in, Lely robots in. But even the grazing system, definitely, it just opened my eyes up. It flipped my whole thought on them, really. I went from, that couldn't work. You'd build even there's one around the road of the robot rotary. I think that's GEA. That was kind of, you do that if anything, but even now it's like, well, this does work. There's proof, and
it's getting more and more evidence.
Definitely. So it's going to be, I think, the next 20 years in Australia, I think it's definitely going to kick off a lot more, I'd say.
Yeah, I think if you see the general, let's say, adoption rate, for example, in the Netherlands, that's more than from the 100 farmers. I think between 70-80%, don't pin me on it, is going with robots. And we are here by far not on that level, so the potential is big, and people want to see it at the neighbor farm working before seeing it's really working.
That's always the way. You'd rather make sure let the neighbour stuff up or it work for them before you go and slap something in. So yeah.
And how is that for you, Max? Has the trip to Europe and the visit to the event here in Australia changed your view to milking robots in general?
Yeah, definitely the same as Oscar again. You're just not educated enough on the robots, and I just love that Lely just put everything works around the cow. That's the best thing everything's about that cow. Comfort, when it wants to get milked, and the data that it shows from the robot, and even the collars, just amazing.
Yeah, because with the milking robot what comes, you get a lot of more data on individual level of the cow. You can even feed your cows individually concentrates in the milking robot based on their lactation stage. So you can feed the cows to their needs. What is a unique concept if you compare that to, let's say, conventional milking. And I just would like to break that stigma a bit. You don't need to be lazy for having milking robots. You still
correct.
need to be in the shed. You still need to be on farm. You're only focusing on different aspects on the farm.
Yeah, it's a tool. As long as you use it properly, you'll go a long way.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tool, and you need to work with it. And a fool with a tool is still a fool. But when you treat it wisely, and when you treat it with care, then you get the best out of it. So that's good. Really, before closing this podcast, Max, I believe also this year there is a charity event in Warrnambool. Is that correct?
Yep. So we're going to run the Young Dairy Network ball again, gala ball. This year will be at the Warrnambool Golf Club, and the date is the 30th of November. So save the date, and keep a lookout on WestVic and WestVic Young Dairy Network Facebook page, just to stay tuned for when tickets go out.
Yeah, thank you for that. And people, I can already tell, this year, again, there is a trip winning to the Netherlands coming up, most likely in combination with a trip to Ireland, to see also some grass-based farming in Ireland. So yeah, I would say stay tuned or go to the event and make an opportunity to go into the draw and yeah, hopefully win a trip next year. And then we can welcome you maybe next year in the Dairy Experience podcast as well. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I would say wraps up our 10th podcast of today. Young Aussie farmers on Eurotrip. We hope that you have enjoyed listening to this episode and are already looking forward to future episodes to come. For example, our next episode, what is about retrofitting. Oscar and Max, thank you very much for your time today. Much appreciate that.
No,
and,
thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
And thank you, Lely.
Yeah, thanks, Lely, for the trip, and best of luck for the person next year that wins it.
I think you're going to ruffle that off, Oscar. That's the plan, right?
Yeah, it depends who pays me the most who wins. No, should be hopefully a great night again, and get a bigger crowd again, and yeah, hopefully another young dairy farmer wins it.
Sounds good. Fully agree with that. And look forward to that. 30th of November, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening, and we wish you a very nice day. Bye-bye.